pulled out a good, I don't know if he interviewed Floyd or it's just his imagination, but it's something that has people talking about, so it's going to be a great fight.
If Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather gets made, it does more than Terence Crawford Canelo on Netflix.
Oh, wow.
Clip that.
I personally don't like to see guys take punishment, especially at the latter part of their career, because again, a piece of you is always left when you step out of that ring. Every time you go into the ring, you're not the same person that comes out the ring. I don't care who you are.
If Mayweather versus Pacquiao 2 happens, it could beat Crawford versus Canelo in Netflix views. A video was shared where someone spoke about Floyd. Maybe he imagined it or talked to him. Either way, fans are buzzing. Leonard Ellerbe has told Floyd not to fight Manny again. He said boxing is dangerous and one hit can change a career. He advised that at this stage, Floyd should protect his money and health. Once your legacy is clear, there's no need to risk it again. Enjoy life instead of taking pointless chances.
Do what's best for him. If he feels as though the time is now to walk away, but I personally don't like to see guys take punishment, especially at the latter part of their career, because again, a piece of you is always left when you step out of that ring. Every time you go into the ring, you're not the same person that comes out the ring. I don't care who you are. And boxing is a brutal, brutal sport. And all it takes is, one punch here, and again, the whole life is completely changed. And the key is to get in this sport and to become successful, meaning fight the best guys that are out there, and then make a lot of money, and then be able to go out and do whatever it is you want to do. Obviously, with being in a position to take care of your family, that's what it's all about.
Floyd Mayweather's son spoke publicly and said he's against his dad facing Manny Pacquiao again. Though he didn't say Manny's name, it's obvious he's worried about Floyd's safety. He thinks his father already gave enough to boxing and doesn't need to fight anymore. This isn't about proving anything, it's about love and protection. Families often care more about health than history. His son's message reflects how those close to retired boxers worry more about their well-being than about glory.
Ron, I'm too one. Mucho gusto. I don't know. You gotta ask him. No. Everybody's old. Can you put another shrimp in the box?
Manny Pacquiao says he's ready to fight anyone, even Mayweather. He told Floyd to sign the deal if he's serious about coming back. Manny's not joking, he believes he can still win and wants to finish what they started. He's still got confidence and believes their rivalry isn't over. Manny thinks he can finally set the record straight. After showing he's still got fire in him, Pacquiao is not sitting back. He's stepping up, waiting for Floyd's answer, ready to fight again.
To coax Floyd Mayweather out and maybe you guys get a rematch right here in this same building. Do you feel like that this version of you beats the version of Floyd Mayweather that exists today?
It's hard to talk about the fighter who retired already. If he comes out and go sign the contract and we will fight. I mean, let's fight again if you want. I have no problem with that. I'm active now. I don't pick my opponent. I don't, I fight them all.
I don't choose who I fight. I face anyone. WBC's Mauricio Suleiman shared his take. He respects Floyd's greatness and said boxing doesn't require another war from him. But he also noted that if fans keep asking for it, the rematch could happen. His view shows how boxing is ruled by business. If the people want it bad enough, it might be made. Even though Floyd doesn't need to prove himself again, the public demand could still bring him back in the ring.
But can you see a scenario where, obviously Floyd, who's held the WBC titles many over his career, maybe gets tempted out of retirement for a Manny Pacquiao rematch?
What do you say?
I say he doesn't need to fight again, but I also would definitely come and watch. So I'm sort of like,
You'll come and watch. We have to see what happens Saturday, first of all. Of course, Floyd is legendary, just as Manny. There's no issue there. But you cannot skip. There's various before, and Lance is a great journalist. I think he pulled out a good, I don't know if he interviewed Floyd or it's just his imagination, but it's something that has people talking about. So it's going to be a great fight.
Pacquiao's recent posts and talks show he really wants to fight Floyd again. He believes he can win the rematch and change the story. That belief comes from his recent strong performance, especially against Barrios. Manny clearly feels there's unfinished work and that a second fight could fix what went wrong before. He wants to end it right and raise his name even higher. Pacquiao has moved from just thinking about it to chasing it with focus and confidence.
You would even fight him today?
Even here.
Oh my goodness. Tell me about that fight a little bit. Being in there with Floyd, Floyd being in there with you, like what was the experience like being there in the ring fighting him finally?
It's good, but despite all those things, but then after the fight, right after the fight, I went to the hospital and got operated. My
Yeah, you got an operation. Yeah. I remember you posted a picture of.
Really hurt.
Was he better or worse than you thought he was?
No, that's his style. Like I knew it, but the thing is, I'm expecting that I won the fight because he didn't throw a lot of punches. I throw a lot of punches. And I reviewed the compy box, like slow motion from first round to 12 rounds. Like how many punches get connected and how many punches of him he connected. You know, that's boxing.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining or making, just it happened that way. It happened to me many times.
Did you want a rematch with Floyd?
I'm still active. It's up to him if he's going to fight.
You would even fight him today?
Even here.
Oh my goodness.
Even here.
Yeah, that fire never dies, man.
My right hand is complete, so.
Boxing expert Chris Algieri gave a fair and smart view on the rematch talks. He said it's not locked in, but definitely possible. He thinks Pacquiao's latest fight against Barrios sparked big fan interest. Algieri noted that even with all the talk, Manny still controls the future of the fight. His shape, drive, and desire might be enough to tempt Floyd into one more match. His opinion supports the idea that the rematch might actually happen soon.
Listen, if Floyd's talking about coming back, no.
And that's what I wanted to touch on. Do you think that this now warrants Floyd Mayweather with his competitive spirit and attitude to come back and maybe try to one-up Manny Pacquiao by beating him again?
That wouldn't surprise me at all because I know how Floyd is when it comes to, seeing other people doing their thing. He's like, who's Chris? So I think that's a really good possibility of happening. But again, that's going to come down to Floyd and Manny. I think they're both in the driver's seat. Floyd's always in the driver's seat, Hey, sir, how are you, man?
Even before Manny fought Barrios, boxing fans were whispering that a win could bring Mayweather back. The money involved is huge, maybe more than $1 billion. Now that Manny's done with the Barrios fight, the calls for Floyd have gotten louder. The history between them and their giant fan bases make this fight one of the biggest ever. It could beat the numbers from many of today's big fights. The hype and money are both sky high.
So breaking news, Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao 2 is in talks to happen next if Pacquiao beats Mario Barrios. And Mayweather is expected to be ringside for Pacquiao's fight on Saturday night. And according to reports, the rematch could be the first ever fight to generate over $1 billion. And that would lure Mayweather out of retirement. Now, I definitely saw this coming. Manny's coming out of retirement after 4 years. Of course, because he's passionate about the sport. And Barrios is a world champion, so it's a legacy fight. But there's bigger name opponents Manny can fight. And the biggest of them all is definitely Floyd Mayweather. I mean, their first fight generated 4.6 million pay-per-view buys, did over $600 million in revenue, including pay-per-views and ticket sales and sponsorships. And even though the fight didn't live up to expectations, it could still be a massive fight. 2 to 3 million pay-per-views right now. Or you could put it on Netflix and hundreds of millions of people would watch it worldwide. So if Manny can pull off the upset against Mario Barrios and become WBC champion on Saturday, don't be shocked if these two's negotiations really start to heat up and then the fight gets made shortly after.
Former champ Sean Porter doesn't think the fight should happen. He feels the Mayweather-Pacquiao story ended back in 2015 and doesn't need another page. For him, bringing it back risks making it feel like a show, not a real contest. He said, rising stars could give fans more action and risk. He respects both men, but thinks they should be remembered for what they already did, not pushed into a pressure-filled event that might hurt their legacies.
Listen, we've seen Manny on the end of bad decisions before. Timothy Bradley, excuse me. Jeff Horn fight, shout out to Tim. I know how you feel about that. Family. But this is what he's got to deal with. You can't go through a camp, do what you just did right there, We saw all of heart, everything that we've always seen from Manny, and this is the result. Shout out to Mario. He made the fight difficult just from being a big guy who is a better boxer than I realized. Came to the ring with a true game plan to try to box and be patient, find openings and things of that nature. I don't think that Mario did enough to win. I don't think he did enough for a draw. I think that there was a lot more that he could have done. But the main thing is the style that he chose to box was actually a good style to use against Manny Pacquiao. They were saying that they were going to come right to the middle of the ring, and they did, but they came to the middle of the ring, and then they circled, they moved, they worked behind the jab. Not enough jabs, not enough of everything from Mario, you know, so I really don't agree with the draw. All that said, y'all know I got to say the rest. Y'all know I got to say the rest. One more?
Should Manny fight younger guys still? Like, should he fight a Tank? Should he fight a Rolly? Or should he rematch Floyd?
I don't think y'all want to see him with Floyd. Do y'all? I don't know. I'm feeling like the world, because it's Manny Pacquiao, it makes sense for it to be Floyd Mayweather, but I don't know. I thought yesterday you were poking the bear.
Online debates are getting heated as fans break down both legends' careers. A key topic is how Pacquiao won world titles in 8 different weight classes, something never done before. That has fans thinking he might be stronger now in a rematch. People are judging who'd win based on styles, recent fights, and legacy. Manny's long list of tough opponents makes many feel he can still hang with the best. His resume still keeps him in every serious talk.
So is Floyd Mayweather greater than Manny Pacquiao? I always get this question. If you know me, you know my answer. Floyd is not greater than Pacquiao, and Pacquiao has him beat by a really good margin, in my opinion. Let's talk about it. If your argument is Floyd beat Pacquiao, throw it out the window. Every single boxer in history has lost damn near. That's like saying Buster Douglas is greater than Mike Tyson. If your argument is Manny lost in his career and Floyd didn't, I would disagree with that type of logic, but if that's the case, you got to put all the undefeated fighters at the top. Bud, Inoue, Usyk, Kazagi, all those guys should be in your top 5. I like Floyd. I like Floyd a little bit more than Manny. I'm not gonna lie. Manny's a bit chaotic at times. I don't like that. I like sweet, smooth looking boxing. But let's speak objectively here. If we're talking about in terms of career, whose career will be more harder to replicate? Is going to be Manny Pacquiao, and it's by a really good margin. Now, Floyd's most impressive feats, you look at him, he's a, 5 division champion. He's beaten 23 world champions. He's been in how many title fights? You know, Floyd has an amazing career. And I'm not saying that it can be done. It probably will never be done again, but I could see somebody doing that before they do what Manny did. And that's why I have Manny as the greatest boxer of all time, just not based off ability. When you look at the guys that Manny beat, the reason why he got the 2000s Fighter of the Decade over Floyd Mayweather, the reason why he got Fighter of the Year 3 years in a row, almost 4 years in a row. Yes, Manny lost. Manny fought more world champions than Floyd, though. We don't speak on that. Then you get into the 8 weight division. These are only the 8 he won titles in. Manny Pacquiao fought through, I want to say, 10 or 11 different weight divisions. If you want to speak on the lineal titles, I want to say he holds the most lineals of all time with like 5 or 6. Youngest lineal flyweight, oldest welterweight champion. It's insane. The youngest lineal fly is also the oldest welterweight champion. I like Floyd. Floyd's my number 2 all time. This isn't a diss to Floyd, but Manny, I believe objectively, is the greatest fighter above Ali, above Floyd, above Duran, above Leonard, above everybody. I think he has a career that is absolutely impossible to replicate. When Floyd was picking on guys like Andre Berto and Conor McGregor, Manny Pacquiao beat the undefeated young active champion and Keith Thurman to join the pound for pound at 40 years of age while being a senator. He's the greatest boxer of all time.
NFL player Cam Binham praised Pacquiao's latest effort. He said the name of the opponent doesn't matter. It's all about Manny. Whether it's Floyd or someone young, he just wants to see Manny fight again. Cam talked about how passion and fire still light up fans. One good fight can bring fans back to cheering. Manny doesn't need revenge or drama. He only needs a ring to prove he's still got the skills. People just want to see him in action again.
Break down the fight. I thought Manny won myself, but what did you see? How did you see the fight?
All right, so obviously I'm a Manny fan, but I'm going to try and keep it non-biased as possible. It was a great fight. It was a close fight. Both had moments, but I think overall Manny did more. I think his punches were more effective, more active. So even on top of that, just the ability for him to go the 12 rounds and do what he was able to do, but be more active every single round. I feel like Barrios picked it up the last 2 rounds, but I still don't believe that was enough. Manny started fast and he sustained pretty much, kind of let his foot off the gas towards the end. But I still thought, in my opinion, it was enough to win the fight to where I don't see how even the one judge got the decision towards Barrios.
Manny told me he thought he won 8-4, even if it's 7-5. But the draw was surprising. At least they didn't rob him. But
yeah.
Do you want to see a rematch? You see Mayweather. Do you want to see Rolly? I mean, Manny told me he likes the Rolly fight, I think.
I just want to see Manny. I want to see him in the ring. It doesn't matter who, because I know whoever he fights, it'll be an exciting fight. Obviously, the Floyd one will be big, and that, you know, blow up the whole boxing world again. But I just think overall, I want to see Manny in the ring, and I think anybody who has signed a contract with Manny knows what they're going into. And isn't going to be one of those boring fights where they're running. It's going to be, you know, combative, and they're going to be standing in the middle of the ring and fight. And I think, especially like what Manny was saying, he took 2 months for this fight. He has a little more. He's going to look even better. Regardless of the
4
win or
years
loss,
old, 46 years
regardless
old.
of the win
He
or
looked
loss,
amazing. He
I was
didn't
just
lose.
proud of the way that he went out there. Yeah, he didn't lose.
It's a draw.
And he fought really well. It was clean. There's nothing. It was just clean. It was a clean fight. But kudos to Barrios for keeping him, keeping it close.
Respect, he's a champion.
The buzz around a Mayweather-Pacquiao sequel is rising fast. Many think it's the most likely legacy match to actually get made. Compared to fights like Canelo versus Crawford, this one brings deeper feelings and more backstory. This wouldn't just be a boxing match, it'd be a world-shaking event. Two legends, one last clash. Fans also argue who ducked the fight years ago. Floyd reportedly pulled out twice, Manny once. That drama still fuels debate. Everyone wants the true ending.
Manny Pacquiao has criticised Floyd Mayweather for running in their fight, which was meant to be the fight of the century, and kind of flopped in most people's eyes. This is according to Boxing Kingdom. He said Floyd Mayweather was running for the whole 12 rounds and he won the fight. How is that even possible? You know, I feel sorry for the fans because the fight was boring. That's not what the fans expect from us. If I am a fan, of course, I want to see a good fight and not a fashion show. Now I get it, Manny Pacquiao lost the biggest fight of his career. He lost a fight that may have put him in conversation for the best boxer of all time. And I want to know your opinions on whether Floyd Mayweather did run for the entirety of that fight. In my opinion though, Floyd Mayweather did not run in that fight. He fought tactically, he fought very, very clever, he counterpunched Manny Pacquiao. It wasn't like a Devin Haney performance where he was skating around the outside of the ring. You could see that there was bouts in that fight where Floyd Mayweather was setting up counter punches and landing combinations himself. I think Manny Pacquiao is just a little bit hurt that he lost the biggest fight of his career, really. But there's no excuses there. Manny Pacquiao could have adapted his game. Floyd Mayweather was too defensive. Manny Pacquiao could have overwhelmed him with barrages of punches. The problem is that Manny Pacquiao wasn't able to do that because Floyd Mayweather was too clever and his counter-punching was too good on the night that Manny Pacquiao would likely have been knocked out if he put more pressure on than he already did. But let me know your opinions on the Mayweather and Pacquiao fight. Did Floyd Mayweather run around for the entirety of the fight? Or was it just very, very poor planning and a poor game plan from Manny Pacquiao? Let me know in the comments. As always, a like, favourite, save and a share. All appreciated. And for more boxing content, hit the follow button. Peace out.
The 2015 Mayweather vs. Pacquiao bout was called the fight of the century, but most fans were let down. Instead of fireworks, they got a defensive match. The bout received a lot of backlash from viewers and analysts. Everyone thought they'd see history, but it was slow and lacked big moments. Roy Jones Jr. even said Floyd shouldn't brag about that win. People felt no closure after waiting years. Now, a rematch could fix all that and finally give the exciting fight fans hoped for.
I would not be able to take credit for beating Pacquiao after he got knocked out by Marquez, because that's not the same Pacquiao. Of course. That's not the Pacquiao at the top of his game. Yeah, but in society today, we'll call that person the best fighter ever. Of course. When that's not how that goes. Mm-hmm. That's not reality. But in the business world, it is, because look how much money he made.